Dan, how are you? Thank you for being back with us.
Yeah, man, a dookie tweaks an ankle and all hell breaks loose in college basketball.
That's exactly right. All right, before we get into solutions or if this is even a problem, Dan, what do you make of what happened over the weekend? Wake Forest they beat Duke, they win the game, the kids rush on the court, and yes, Kyle tweaks an ankle.
All right, before we get into any of the solutions, as part of college basketball, I actually lost my career. I lost my best player, career ending in a court storming after we had won a game. Guy jumped on his back, tore his ACL. It was his third ACL, and it really cost me a lot. But you know what? Court storming is a part of it. I will say this. The Duke player, it's debatable whether or not he caused it. Like, I always thought when I was in a situation like that, and I was in a bunch of them, I'm just trying to get to the bench. I'm trying to get out of there. I'm not trying to mess with anybody. I don't know why the Duke player did that, but there's two sides of it. Nobody should be on the court, people tell me, but I'm all for court storming. I like it. I'm sorry.
So, Dan, if you were in charge of, the rule maker for college sports, are you just leaving things the way they are, or are there certain tweaks that need to be made, or is, hey, this is a rarity, doesn't happen much, it's even rarer that a player gets hurt, and that's just the way it goes?
Yeah, no, I would do a few things. I think what you just said, yes to everything. Number one thing you got to do is you got to understand Duke is here, Wake Forest, it's the biggest game of the year, so I have to, as administrator, I got to make damn sure that I have a ton of police with 10 seconds to go in the game. We're going to win it, ready to surround Duke's team. Now, that is automatic, and I'm getting them off the court. And see, the Filipowski kid, had he seen that, he probably would have just ran. That's the way to solve this. Just look, you're not going to storm the court on every game, but you know when Duke comes in. Come on, when we were with Bobby Knight, we knew if somebody beat us in Indiana, there might be a court storming. So you say, look, two things. I'm the coach. Game's over. Minute to go. I'm getting my team. Let the guys, 5 guys on the court play. But I'm making sure as the visiting team, I have cops, big old cops, with big bright jackets that say cops on it or whatever it says, surrounding the team so everyone knows, don't you be messing over here.
Dan, clearly looking at me, I never played college basketball. I remember I went to Seton Hall and a couple games where they beat opponents that were highly ranked, obviously. We ran on the court, and that was, as I look back now, all these years later, really some of the fondest memories. So is it important to also to balance that, to realize that this is sort of one of the things that really makes college sports? This doesn't happen in the NBA, but it's one of the things that happens in college.
There's no question about it. That's why I say just protect the team over here. You want to run onto the court? Run onto the court. Get in the middle of the court. I saw one of my colleagues and friend Jay Billis wants people arrested. People want to give a 10-second countdown. I don't know how you do any of that. All I know is protect the team. That's it. Protect the team. Get them off the court, and you got no problem because you know what? Fans aren't trying to hurt anybody. Kid that hurt my player wasn't trying to hurt anybody. But fans are also kind of frauds, too, because this. They got the phone. They don't even know half the time why they're running out there. They just know we got a phone and we're going to take a picture, Right. But you got to protect the team. The administration has to know who's coming in here. Hey, we're going to protect Duke. We're going to protect their players, period. That's it.
Dan, and I think you and I feel the same way about this. The people who have taken a hard line in here, this needs to be banned. They've had some ideas as for how they can stop this. You said it. I know Jay Billis, some other people have said arrest students.
Not me.
Okay, not you. What do you think about a fine for the university for the kids that are running onto the court? Do you like that? And do you like, and this seems crazy to me, do you like them actually overturning the result of the basketball game? It sounds so crazy to even ask you this question, but what do you think of some of those measures people have suggested?
I've seen all these over the last 2 days. No, screw that overturning. We're not doing that.
Yeah, come on.
We're not arresting. We're not giving citations. Look, I think a fine you probably should, particularly if you were not prepared. I think the fine in the SEC is $100,000. SEC, they spend that on a good right guard. Are you kidding me? I mean, you got to make it hurt. You got to make it $1 million. And I also think this, it doesn't kill you to make announcements. Nothing happens in a bubble. So you make an announcement. Hey, look, if you're going to rush the court, go to the middle of the court.
Right.
Leave and just keep harping on it. But I'm telling you, the biggest deterrent is you get the cops, the police, big bright jackets, you surround the team, and no one's coming. Now, maybe that happens. Maybe Filipowski still goes after somebody. I don't know.
Right.
But the other thing is this. Honest to God, there's like 10 court stormings a month, let's say.
Right.
One time, a Dookie tweaks an ankle, and we're out of our minds. TMZ is covering it, for crying out loud. Come on. And we want people arrested or detained, and we want students taking fines, and we want to forfeit games. It's chaos. When my guy at Bowling Green, Mike, when my guy at Bowling Green got hurt, you know what they said?
Nothing.
Oh, Dan, that's too bad.
Exactly.
That's it.
The irony is not lost on me, Dan. Of course, it had to be a Duke player, and that's why here we are talking about this. Before I let you go, I'm dying to know what Coach Knight used to think of the kids running on the court. And obviously, it was a big deal to beat you guys. What did Bobby think of this?
Well, I had to pull him off a trombone player one time. We were stuck, and a guy was hitting him in the face, and he grabbed it, and I gave him a bear hug. He would go out of his way. He would want to go out of his way to take a little shot at somebody. But you know what? There weren't that many cameras back then. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like now. I don't remember him doing anything other than getting off the court, going, shaking hands, and staying along the scores table and getting off the court. I think it happened a couple times at Northwestern. But I don't think, I swear, I think now people are angrier. People are more confrontational. Social media puts it in that vein. So I think now people are like, instead of, hey, I'm staying away from that crazy Bobby Knight, now it's like, I want to antagonize that guy. And that's not good.
Could not agree with you more. Dan, I had no idea that you had lost a player, so this even makes you the more perfect guy to talk to about this. Love what you're doing with Outkick, Dan. I appreciate your time as always. Looking forward to the next time we can hop on here together.
Look forward to it. Anything for you guys. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Dan.